Today I spent 100 days in Insane Craft. This is a modern take on Crazy Craft, an old classic of Minecraft days, and it is the biggest mod ever with hundreds of mods within this mod pack. This led to some of the most difficult and challenging experiences in my life in Minecraft. So, subscribe and let's get into it. Day 1, I found a village, which I proceeded to loot, and finished the day by claiming one of the houses as my own. And day 2, I decided to go caving. Day 3, I headed out looking for special chickens in this mod, under the roost mod. Now let me tell you, these are awesome chickens, and they will give you pretty much any item in the game for the most part. They are super overpowered, which is why I wanted them so bad. And then some random dude with some purple crap and armor decided that he was just gonna yeet me through the entire world, and I'm like, I don't know how often this guy goes to the gym, but I wish I was as built as him. And then I proceeded to find a dragon, or rather it found me. This dragon snuck up on me. I don't know how I got snuck up on a giant dragon, considering how big they are, but don't ask questions. Thank God I was able to survive because of some water nearby, because otherwise I would have been dead. Day 4, as you can imagine, that Hulk-like dude kind of scared me off from exploring for a bit. And combined with the dragon, I didn't really want to do much. So I went back to what I knew and loved and was safe doing. Caving. Day 5, I whipped up an extractor and combustion chamber. These are very good items that I will be used to make some very nice stuff in day 6. Let's go check out what those are. Day 6, using that extraction chamber and combustion chamber from earlier, I was able to whip up a black atom injection. Essentially how this works is the combustion chamber just powers the extractor by burning wood, and the extractor combines coal, a syringe, water, and the power from the combustion chamber in order to make a black atom injection, which I can then inject into myself to give me the powers of the black atom. Now, the reason I wanted the black atom specifically, first off, he can fly. It's okay flight, not creative flight, but it's fine. But the main reason, fire resistance. For those of you who have never played RL Craft or Insane Craft or any of the crafts with the fire and ice mod, you wouldn't know that fire dragons, the most common dragon, only attack you with fire. So if you have permanent fire resistance, they don't do damage. Which is why I wanted the black atom injection, because now with this, dragons just simply could not touch me unless they were a nice dragon, and I've never seen a nice dragon in my life. All of this allowed me to kill the dragon that had attacked me earlier. It took absolutely ages, because with an iron sword, I was doing next to no damage to it, but he was doing exactly no damage to me. So eventually, I won. Day 7, I looted the dragon for things like dragon bones, blood, scales, a fire dragon heart, fire dragon meat, etc. That took a little while. The main thing I eat through my day is all dragons have nests, and these nests take quite a while to loot. So it took me the entirety of the day to loot the dragon and its nest. Day 8, I headed out to Nether. I did this for some wither bones, but I ended up finding this crazy dungeon thing that's included in one of the mods, and it gave me so much good loot. I was very happy I went there. Day 9, I started off by heading home and organizing all the loot I got from this Nether dungeon, and then I collected my fire dragon blood, some fire dragon bones, and a wither bone, and was able to make a flaming dragon bone sword, as well as a dragon bone pickaxe. I also found a soul sand and quartz chicken while I was out in the Nether, so I began breeding those. Day 10 and 11, I worked on an auto farm. For the chickens, you need roosts and breeding pens, both of which require a metric crap ton of hay, which requires tons of wheat. And in addition to that, to breed the chickens, you need a lot of seeds. So it only made sense that I made an automatic wheat farm, which is what I worked on for days 10 and 11. Day 12, I spent hunting chickens. I don't know if I got any or what kind I was going after, because I didn't take the time to write it down, but boy did I go after them. Day 13 rolled around, and I guess this day I just really wasn't. Like, I'm looking at this footage right now, right? And on my notes, I say cleared some dirt. And I'm watching this, and this is the dirt I cleared before I built my automatic wheat farm, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know how I built the automatic wheat farm days 10 and 11, and then cleared the dirt I needed to clear to make it day 13. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I guess I'm just magic like that. Okay, now day 14, I set up farms. Now, to my knowledge, I had already set up the farms according to my notes on days 10 and 11. But it seems here in my footage that I am currently setting up the wheat farm. So I am just lost into what happened on day 10 and 11. Maybe I'll rewatch the footage, maybe I'll find it, but yeah, this seems to be the mystery of 10 and 11, I guess. Day 15, I set up an auto harvester and planter to automate my wheat farms. But they weren't technically automated yet because I still needed to power it because a combustion chamber would chew through way too much wood for this to be worth it if I used that. But, we move. Day 16, I headed out to find some regular chickens because in the roost mod, the OP chicken mod, there are some red, yellow, green chickens, which you literally just make by normal eggs plus the dye of that color, and you get a chance to hatch it. So I needed regular eggs, which is why I headed out to find regular chickens and watch them lay eggs for a while. So, day 17, I got the eggs I needed and took them home to spawn a red chicken. Then, on day 18, I realized that I should probably keep some regular chickens in my backyard since I already have a fence. Because I'm going to need lots of eggs in the future. So I did that. So now I have a regular chicken farm in the backyard of my house. And inside the house, I have a special chicken farm. What a place. And it looks like I also spotted some yellow chickens, even though I didn't write it down. Day 19 and 20, I spent trying to make a green chicken. The spawn rate when you throw down these eggs are not 100%. And for some reason, the green chicken was taking a lot longer to spawn than the yellow or red did. Like, over twice as many eggs. So, it took me a couple days to get it. But I eventually did. Day 21, I made a blue chicken. This was a lot easier because it just needed lapis for the dye. And I had a fair bit of lapis. So, yeah, I had tons of eggs in no time. Day 22, I went looking for log chickens when all of a sudden I was on fire and a tree was burnt. It was real weird. Until I saw there was a dragon above me. So I went ahead and fought this dragon. This took the remainder of the day. It was a bit quicker than the last one because I had a dragon bone sword, a lot better than an iron sword. He still couldn't kill me. So I did eventually kill him. But yeah, it was a weird detour for sure. But I couldn't find his nest either, so I didn't really get that much loot from him. I got good stuff from killing him itself, because that's where the good stuff is, but I couldn't get the excess loot. Day 23, I headed out and continued looking for log chickens after that small dragon detour, and on 24, I was able to find them and go home. Day 25 and 26, I bred chickens. I became so knowledgeable about the breeding process of chickens over these 100 days. It was a weird 100 days. Day 27 and 28, I just explored. I wasn't really looking for anything specific, and I didn't really accomplish anything, but good exploration, for sure, and filled out the map a lot, so that's always nice. Day 29, I headed home and began working on a smelter, and in between, I was also breeding chickens since those passively happened without me having to be there. This went right the way into day 30 as well. So, one unique thing about this mod pack is the walls of the Nether are just absolutely packed full with resources. You guys have to understand. If you can get to them, it is way easier to find resources in the Nether than in the overworld in this mod pack, which is why on day 31, I just spent the day Nether mining. Days 32, right the way through till 34, I spent working on the smelter. Day 35 until 37, I spent breeding more chickens. Day 38, I started setting up automatic pens for my good chickens so that they could start producing all the materials I would ever need. Days 39 and 40, I got back to breeding chickens. And day 41, I went caving. Day 42, I got to making even more chicken chambers. And then day 43 all the way till 48, I bred chickens. Day 49, I headed back to those weird modded nether dungeons to do some more looting. These things are so overpowered. To give you an idea of how strong the loot is, I'm pretty sure it's Ender Fortress loot. Because, I got an Elytra from one of these chests. Obviously, it's worthless because Black Atom powers give me much better flight than Elytra could ever give. But it's pretty crazy. The amount of Foley and China Diamond armor and whatnot, other types of armor, Emerald armor, and yeah, that's sort of like Elytra tier stuff I got. These places are just so incredibly crazy. So I found I was running out of space in my house. It's a villager house at the end of the day. It's tiny, and there's so much more stuff in InsaneCraft you need set up in your house than vanilla, so your house needs to be way bigger. And for that reason, on day 50, I started making a second story to my house. This took me right the way through day 51, and on day 52, I was able to finish it. Day 53 till 55, I bred chickens. Days 56 and 57, I mined mainly for Certus quartz, which is what you need in a project I will be starting very soon. But yeah, spent these 2 days mining. Day 58, I constructed a pulverizer and began using it. A pulverizer is a crusher, essentially. It just turns solid ores and various items into their dust form. Day 59, I began work on an ME system. For those of you guys who don't know, an ME system is one of the oldest and most busted storage methods in Minecraft modded history. It's essentially infinite storage. And I needed that because my chests were getting very full. Day 60 and 61, I went back to do some mining in the Nether. Day 62, I got back to breeding some chickens. And day 63, I headed back to the Nether for some more looting. Day 64 until 68, I bred chickens. Day 69, I tried to figure out how to make an atomic reconstructor, and I successfully crafted it, but these things are really complicated how they function. They just don't make sense. I don't understand why the mod developer decided to make them work how they do, but whatever. It took me a good while, but I couldn't get it working this day. And by the time day 70 came around, I was able to get the atomic reconstructor working. I went quartz mine because I needed quartz to use on it. So those made blood shards. So I finally have them. Day 71, I set up an empower. This is what I was trying to make with the atomic reconstructor. It just is another crafting item. And then I got back to breeding chickens once I was done setting it up. Day 72, I mined clay. Day 73, I got way more excited. I mined sand and gravel. Day 74, I headed to the nether for some blaze rods and proceeded to spend the whole day collecting those. Day 75, so I used all that clay, sand, and gravel to make Groot, which you smelt down to make seared bricks, which you use to make the smeltery, which I wanted to continue working on. So while those smelted, I went tree chopping because I was running short on wood. Day 76 rolled around, and the reason I wanted all that wood is, as you can see here, I kind of made my empower on like a floating platform, and it was real ugly, so I decided to make a custom tree around it to make it look decent. So, day 76, it took me the whole day, but I built like the actual framework of the tree, so the stump, the branches, the trunk, and then proceeded to add the leaves on day 77 and finished adding the leaves on day 78. Day 79, I built this little elevator going up to my empower section on the tree, so I didn't have to build an ugly ladder coming out of it or anything. And then I started working on the smithy, or the smeltery rather, because the Groot was finished smelting. And then day 80, I went back to breeding some chickens. Day 81, I headed out pretty far away from home and spawned a wither. Or I tried to. For some reason, I could not get the wither to spawn. I mean, I'm very powerful, so it makes sense that he's scared of me. But it's a bit annoying. So yeah, I spent this whole day just fiddling around with the wither statue in case I did something wrong, but I didn't. So yeah, he just never spawned. Day 82, I was informed that you need to spawn the wither in the nether. So I headed to the nether, spawned it there. It spawned with no issues, and I killed it. Day 83, I made a compressor. This is a major step because a compressor is used to make singularities. Singularities are very concentrated items. Like, for example, today I made an iron singularity, which is 5,000 iron. There's the equivalent of this for diamonds, gold, and everything else in between. These are used to craft the most powerful ingots in the game, but it takes 32 of these, one from each type of ingot and whatnot, to craft one of the 16 parts of the ingot. So, I'm nowhere close to getting it, but I'm not going to get it nowadays, so don't get your hopes up like the ingot itself, but it was still a nice step getting the iron singularity crafted. Day 84, I crafted a diamantium crystal block by putting a diamond block into this laser thingy that I don't remember the name of at the minute. But anyways, then I started empowering it by putting it into my empower, but the empower takes forever to work, so it didn't finish today. It actually never finished because I never provided the empower with power, so it was never doing anything. It did its animation, which tricked me into thinking it was doing stuff, but it never actually did anything, so I never got this empowered diamantium crystal block like I thought I was going to get. Day 85, I headed to the nether and beginning work on a wither skeleton farm. Now you may be thinking, Kevin, you're working around a blaze spawner, you idiot. Well, in this mod, there's a thing called a spawner changer, where essentially you can, as it's just in the name, change spawners, what they spawn. So I was just going to change the blaze spawner into a wither spawner and make a farm around it. But I never actually finished this throughout the hard days, so yeah, another wasted day. Day 86, I chose to pause the progress on the wither farm and start working on the ME system I talked about needing a couple days ago. And that expanded to day 87, which I spent looking for press patterns And day 88, I found the last press pattern I needed. Press patterns, you put them into an electronic press, and it allows you to inscribe different shapes onto your microchips, and etc. So, I needed certain ones of these, and they can only be found in meteors for some reason. Day 89, I set up a pool to grow pure Certus quartz. Essentially, what you're seeing here, those purple things I'm powering on the sides of the pool are crystal growth accelerators. And what I do is I use quartz powder, redstone dust, and whatever type of crystal I want. So either Certus quartz or flux quartz. And I combine all of those to make flux or Certus quartz seeds, depending on which one I chose to make. And then I throw them in the water. The crystal growth accelerators make them grow super quick, and then they produce more quartz. It's essentially duplicating quartz, except with a bunch of extra steps. Day 90, I spent the entirety of the day compressing silicone. Silicone is essentially the base for every microchip in this game. So you need a ton of it to make an ME system, which is why I just spent one day compressing all of it that I thought I needed. I ended up needing a lot more. Day 91, I realized my crystal growth accelerators weren't working, so I fiddled around with them the entire day and never got them working. Until day 92, where I got the crystal growth accelerators working. As you can see here, they're facing up and down right now. They need to be facing inside the pool. So that started working. And while I waited for them to grow, I started compressing some diamonds and building some batteries. Day 93, I was able to construct my first few storage containers for the ME system. Very big achievement, because these are one of the harder parts to make in the ME system, so I was quite close to getting there. Day 94, I made an ME controller, which essentially allows me to access the ME system. However, when I was trying to upgrade into a crafting terminal so that my ME system would double as infinite storage and a crafting table, I realized I didn't have the press you need to make gold processors. I'd forgot about that when I went pressing earlier, so I headed out to find the press I needed. Day 95, I was able to upgrade it to a crafting terminal, but it completely ran me dry of gold, so I headed out looking for more of that. Day 96, I spent the entirety of the day compressing various components. Day 97, I went Certus quartz mining because I was fresh out of them. Day 98, I had put some Certus quartz into the growing chamber and was waiting for it to grow into pure Certus quartz, so while I waited, I went back to what I knew the best, breeding chickens. So, day 99, I discovered this new tool, the wrench. The wrench allows it so I can put these pipes next to each other. I right-click on the connection, and then I can make it so they don't actually connect crossways. This was huge. It means I could triple the amount of chickens I could fit in my farm area, so I started upgrading that whole chicken farm so that I could fit so many more chickens, and it took me until day 100 to finish that. So that's it for the 100 days. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See ya, bye!